Ho ho ho, time for a fancy review. It's Garage here, and I'm doing the most exciting video I've ever done. This is as exciting as it gets with this COVID crap going on. I'm going to review my new salt and pepper grinders. All right, I'm tired of the crappy pepper grinder and salt grinders that we have right now. I've broken probably one every 6 months. I go through a lot of pepper mainly, not really that much salt. But I'm tired of crappy ones. I saw these in the store the other day, and I was like, "Wow, those look pretty nice." They're OXO brand. After I bought them, they seem to have good reviews online. Just in the comments at Target or whatever Walmart, they just said they're pretty good. But wanted to go through it. These are kind of unique, as in there's just 5 settings. And I like that because I'm sick and tired of the family adjusting it, the screw style settings that usually are on the tip. They adjust them to what they like, and then I go to put pepper on my food, and I have to adjust it back, get it fine tuned to what I like. And anyways, these just have settings, so I like that. So let's see actually how it performs and what it looks like. And we're going to start out with the salt shaker first. All right, this is the salt shaker, and it already comes preloaded. This was about, I think, 14 or 15 bucks. And this thing is really nice. It feels, and it's hard to tell. I can't tell if that's plastic or glass, but it's really thick. It feels really nice. Got a nice stainless steel ring on the top, and you can refill just at the bottom. So it's got a little refill thing that you can unscrew. Lock and load here. But to actually grind, this is the handle. So we're going to start off on our coarsest settings. And what I'm going to do is I got a plate up here, and I'm going to kind of just dump a little bit on the plate just to get it started. And then I'm going to make just a little pile. And let's see, 1, 2, 3. Let's see what the coarse pile looks like. Okay. And we're going to turn it down a notch. So that was the most coarse. We're going to turn it down a notch. Let me just kind of clear it. Let's go to our next setting. So 1, 2, 3. So that's our next one. We're going to go down to our third setting. Clear it. 3. All right. We're going to keep on going down. We're at the second to last. So these have, looks like 5 settings on them. So second to last, clear it. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3. That's second to last. And we're going to go down to the fine setting. So I guess I'll do this one right here. 1, 2, 3. All right, so let's take a look at these. Let's start out with our coarsest setting here. That is pretty coarse. That actually looks nice. And let's take a look at this one. It looks a little bit smaller, so it actually looks like it does change. Definitely a lot smaller. Definitely a lot finer between that guy and that one. So that's the third setting. Let's go to the second setting. Now we're talking quite fine. So that's probably what most people might use for salt. I don't know. I'm not a salt connoisseur. I love my pepper though, but that's a little better. Now this is the finest setting. So let's see what the finest setting looks like. Whoa, it's kind of shattered. The finest setting is almost like fine iodized salt. Just very, very fine, almost a powder. So you can see we got coarse. That's number 5, coarsest setting. 4. We have 3. We have 2. And down to the first setting, which is almost powder. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. Now the only thing I can hope for on this guy, and for the pepper grinder as well, is that they last. Because I go through so many pepper grinders. I don't know why we break them all the time, but we break them. And salt grinders, we don't use much salt. We just don't use that much. So I'm hoping this lasts the same as the pepper grinder. But anyways, let's get to the pepper grinder review. All right, so our pepper grinder, we're going to do the same thing. We've got it all the way on the coarsest setting, which is 5. I guess there's not a number on there, but the coarsest setting, which is all the way to the right. And we're going to make our piles just like we did before. So we're going to set this down. I already cleared it on a plate up here, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now I'm going to change it down. It's just a click. All right, cleared it. We're gonna go ahead and go 1, 2, 3. All right, we're gonna go down to the third setting, so it's gonna clear that. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're down to the second setting. And let's take a look at this. 1, 2, 3. Don't really have a lot of room to do the one at the end, so we're going to put it down here. So 1, 2, 3. All right, so I like very coarse ground pepper, and most of my family likes very fine ground pepper. So having this little switch in the end that I can just flip back and forth really helps out versus trying to get it adjusted right. So I can flip it all the way to 5, and it's exactly where I want it to be. And of course, wife and the kids, they can flip down to 1 or 2 where they like it. So let's take a look at the actual pepper itself. Let's see how this looks. So here's our most coarse sample, and that's nice. I mean, I honestly sometimes grind it even thicker than this if I had a grinder where I could adjust it a little coarser, but that's actually really good. I would be totally happy with that. So let me adjust my camera here for a second. There we go. All right, so here's the next setting. So let's take a look at this. Kind of push it around on this paper towel. So that's definitely finer. You can kind of see the I guess you'd call it a grit there. And that is number 4. So let's see how the number 3 ring looks. Compare to 4. There's 3. Yeah, let's take a look at this. Oh, I accidentally bumped the napkin. Much, much finer. So it really does. Every setting on this grinder really does change it. So let's go down. So that's number 2. And that is the first setting. So that's the finest setting. And that is really fine. Some people might want it a little finer than that, but that's really, really fine. So I'm going to walk over to my cupboard. I'm going to grab out an actual store-bought, already pre-ground fine pepper. And let's take a look at the pre-ground fine compared to this. I know the pre-ground fine is going to be much finer than this, but let's kind of take a look at what that looks like side by side. All right, so I thought I would actually see more of a difference than I'm seeing here. So this is from the grinder on its fine setting. There's a couple of larger chunks in there, but they're really, really small. It's actually really well ground. This is just store ground pepper. And I can also see some chunks that are actually a little bit bigger than what I expected. So that's side by side on the fine. So I would say this does every bit as good of a job as just buying pre-ground fine pepper. That's really good. That's just right out of my little pepper shaker that the family uses. This is noticeably fresher. I did smell it right before I put it on. It smells a lot nicer than the pre-ground. Again, fresh pepper, you can't really get better than that. So I'm sure there's some CNC'd machined high dollar super pepper grinder out there that real connoisseurs use, but you know what? 16 bucks, 15 bucks, whatever the heck I paid for these things. The salt and pepper shaker. If they last, these things are awesome and I highly recommend them. So check it out. And if you like my random videos, subscribe. I appreciate everybody's subscriptions. I just do random stuff, which is really hard to ever be monetized on YouTube doing random stuff. But you know what? I enjoy it. I like doing random things and just trying things out. So if you like my videos, subscribe. Who knows what'll pop up next. And but OXO pepper grinder and salt grinders, if you guys are in the market, these are actually really nice offerings. So definitely pick them up. It's worth it so far. If they do end up breaking, I'll put it in the comments over time if I ever have any problems with them. Because again, I go through a lot of pepper grinders. I don't know why I destroy them, but I do. And yeah, I appreciate all your guys' support. So happy Easter Sunday, and I will talk to you later on.